What's up, guys? RGT here. Obviously, recently on the channel, we've had a couple of interesting situations. We had the basement situation, the WWE situation. If you haven't been following those sagas, I definitely recommend going back and watching those videos because strange things always seem to happen to me in life. If something seems very simple and very basic, like, no, there's going to be plot twists. There's going to be things that end up changing. But I kind of like that. It keeps things interesting. Well, we have updates on both the basement and the WWE situation. So I just wanted to update you guys on that because you've been kind of a part of this journey. So the basement situation, as it stands now, pretty much everything is done. I went ahead and got some new ceiling tiles. I actually posted a picture of this over on the community page, but I understand that a lot of people don't see those posts on here. YouTube doesn't really do a great job of kind of showcasing them, but I put new ceiling tiles in. Everything has remained dry, and the basement, honestly, is pretty much back to optimal. The carpet managed to dry out. It wasn't any mold or anything on it or anything like that. It was damp like the whole time, but it was never really soaking, pretty much because I put those little tubs underneath the leak itself. But there hasn't been any sort of leak. I had a dehumidifier down there as well. And as far as the kitchen is concerned, it's not optimal right now. I just went ahead and threw out the paneling that was on top of it originally, as far as the area underneath the kitchen sink, because it was pretty gross and like wet and stuff like that. So I got like a liner that I put down temporarily just so I can actually use it, because that's where I keep my trash can and stuff like that. And then eventually I'm gonna have that replaced. Basically just cut out the wood and put new wood down there. I'm probably gonna have one of my uncle's friends do it. Yes, we're once again relying on one of my uncle's friends, but at least in this situation, it's not a huge deal. I don't mind waiting for this. This isn't a really pressing or pertinent issue. Things are working down there. I've come up with a decent solution to where nothing is getting worse. It's just kind of staying the same. So, it was an experience, man. It ended up costing quite a bit of cash, but I'm such a cheap ass. I save money all the time because I assume that things like this are going to happen in my life. But everything is done. Everything is fixed. Everyone is happy. They did try to upsell me. After the plumber dude was done, this other dude came, and every single person that came here, they ended up, because obviously the leak is in the basement, so they would come down here, they'd see all the toys and games, and then they would see the arcade room, and then they would be like, oh, this is so cool. Oh, you got a WrestleFest. I remember playing this. And I'm like, all right, come up to the Hulk Hogan room, and I had to show them the Hogan room. But they try to upsell me on some water thing, but the plumber dude was like, you don't really need it. They're gonna say that your water's terrible. Everyone's water is terrible. And they did some little science test in front of me with putting different chemicals in to react to the water, and if it turns this color, you're gonna die, and there's cancer and sepsis and all this stuff in your water. And I'm just like, all the things in life that have tried to take me out, if it's tap water that finally does me in, hey, you know what? It's tap water that finally does me in. So that's what's going on with the basement. Everything is good. Leaks are stopped. And I'm satisfied with the situation. We managed to save everything, which really, that's the only thing that matters at the end of the day. Because at one point in time, I definitely thought I was going to have to throw all that crap out. Now, moving on to WWE, taking down my video in 9 different countries, taking the monetization off of it because of a trailer clip that I used. And obviously I had a lot of things to say about that. Hunter Levesque, you want a war? Well, I'm going to give you a war. So, of course, like I said, I am not one to go quietly into the night, and I made a dispute on this. So here's the dispute. I disputed that this was their copyright that I was infringing on. Of course, if you're wondering who, Sony Pictures Networks India Private Ltd, they basically have the licensing rights for WWE in India and surrounding countries. So essentially on March 5th, 2024, there was a trailer that everyone used that played on WWE programming, but it's going to automatically claim stuff. But how is it automatic if it took such an additional time afterwards? It took literally days after the fact, and the video already went through a copyright check initially for any sort of copyright material. So I don't really understand it. So basically I said, hey, you know what? This doesn't infringe on anyone's work. I think this is, BS, if this is fraudulent, whatever. And I, signed it government name because, I was taking this seriously because in my opinion, I had done nothing wrong. And I think in the opinion of the law, well, I had done nothing wrong. Like what was wrong about using that clip that's a trailer for the video game, and I only used 10 seconds of it? Well, we got an update, folks. Good news! After reviewing your dispute, Sony Pictures Networks India Private Limited has decided to release their copyright claim on your video, meaning that monetization, once again, is back on the video. The video has not been banned in 9 different countries anymore, and it is available to view for everyone. Now, you would think that I am satisfied with that, but I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied at all with this because while, yes, this is good for this individual instance, I still have so many questions and just the legitimacy of it and really the fairness of it. Because first and foremost, if a video gets a copyright claim, okay, especially if it gets blocked in 9 different countries, YouTube has no reason to promote that video. If it gets blocked in 9 different countries, YouTube is not going to promote that video because they view that video as somewhat problematic. So any sort of momentum that video had or could have had or whatever, that's been completely thwarted by this claim. Now, the claim has been released on the video, and this is kind of YouTube education for people, but that doesn't mean that YouTube is automatically going to be like, oh, well, let's promote this video now. Like, no, they're not going to do anything like that. They're just gonna let this video sit there, rot, and die. Which, whatever. What I don't necessarily care. It's not about the video itself. Like, I'm not complaining about the video itself. I'm complaining about the bigger picture. Because this company, Sony Pictures Network India Private Limited, came along, said that I use their stuff, and then YouTube automatically sided with them. And that's kind of the problem with these like, is there going to be any recourse for them for claiming that video as a false claim? No, because they released it. They said, oh, okay, sorry about that. Like, it wasn't a YouTube decision. Back when I had my situation with the Nintendo, YouTube sided with me on it. They were like, you are not in the wrong in this situation. But this was this company essentially saying, oh, well, let it go. You know what? I guess they were right. So why is there no sort of recourse for that? Why is there no sort of repercussion for that? Like, the YouTube copyright system at best is not ideal, and at worst is something that's very problematic because people can come along, and I'm not saying that they were being predatory with this, but you can be predatory with stuff like this. Like, fair use is defined in law, but it's not defined in length. So fair use is kind of up to interpretation. And clearly, I was within fair use rights with this. Clearly, it was a 10-second clip of a video game that I own that I'm talking about in this video game, or in this video about the video game. It has nothing to do with WWE programming. And then, of course, we have that issue that I brought up at the end. Wouldn't copyright stuff be different from country to country? Like, does YouTube just have a general copyright thing? Because, look at copyright laws in places like China. Look at copyright laws in places like India. They're very, very different than they are in the United States. So why would a company based out of another country have any sort of legal right to say whether or not this is within fair use of their video if their copyright laws are completely different? So yes, it's cool that they released it. I'm fine with that. Thank you for doing that. But I feel like this highlights kind of a bigger problem. But at the end of the day, I fought the WWE and I won. All right, I hit him with the big boot. I Listen to the crowd. I came off the ropes. I hit him with the big leg drop for the 1, 2, 3. The big stinky giant of the WWE has been taken down by one man, one mortal man who decided to fight for his rights to use a 10-second clip of a trailer. So it's victories all around here, folks. You know, you take the small battles. Yeah, you had to spend a lot of money on the plumbing, but it's fixed. Yeah, it was kind of an inconvenience, and there's still a bigger outlying problem with this situation when you really look into it, with copyright claims from big companies and YouTube automatically siding with them. But never give up, all right? I'm not John Cena here. Never give up is lame stuff. I'm just saying, fight for it, bro. You got to fight for it. The worst thing that's going to end up happening is YouTube's going to be like, no, you're wrong. Or the company's going to be like, no, you're wrong. And then you fight for it again. You just got to fight for things in life. You can't roll over and just take it, because that's crazy, bro. Like, how are you going to live your life like this? Like, I feel like so many people that just exist on Twitter, like, they just complain all the time. They complain about every little thing. Every little thing is about them. It's like, bro, stand up on your own too for once. Like, you know, pull your pants, tighten your belt up, pull your pants up, quit acting like a baby, try to handle things. Hope you guys enjoyed this little update video. I don't know if anyone's going to watch this. I'm just going to upload it today, later on today. Let me know what you think of everything in the comments section down below. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to check out the other videos talking about the WWE situation and the plumbing situation. Lots of laughs to be had within that. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.